Hi everybody and welcome to Caught in the Wool episode 25. I am your host, SamBee, and Caught in the Wool is a podcast put out by Bumblebee Acres Farm. We are a farm in northern Illinois. We raise animals for wool, so we have lots of sheep, goats, and bunnies, and we also are a fiber art studio, so our specialty is dyeing beautiful yarns. And yeah, so welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you're returning. I'm in a different place. I've never filmed in this spot before. I'm in the knitting nook, and I filmed episode 20 or 19, 18, I don't know. I filmed an episode recently, but I was sitting across the way on the other couch, and now I'm in the armchair. So yeah, anyways, I love this armchair. It suits this room perfectly. It matches the other couch perfectly, and I got it for $50 at Salvation Army. It's really nice. I really like it. It just adds like a little bit of a cottagey character, I think, to this room. But anyways, I have a lot to talk to you guys about today. I do want to say that Baby Bee is not here today, and I am kind of sad about that. She is, I don't know, she just wasn't feeling the podcast thing, which sometimes, like, you just don't. And I mean, if I'm not feeling the podcast thing, I don't podcast. So it's better for her to just, you know, take a break if that's what she needs. But I will be talking about one of her FOs today, and I have lots of whips. I have some spinning to show you guys. I haven't been spinning, which kind of bums me. I'm kind of thinking I might bring out my wheel or more bobbins so I can spin on Queen Bee's wheel when she's not spinning on it. But then I have to mess with her tension and her, you know, ratios and everything, so maybe I won't do that. But anyways, there's a lot to talk about today, and Queen Bee just got back from the post office. She's just dropping off orders, and Peach is looking out the window wondering what the heck's going on. But yeah, sorry, rambling a bit as always. For those of you that might be new, I am chronically scatterbrained, so just a heads up. The lighting might be a little weird in here today. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not too washed out. I don't know. We will see. It's whatever. I was supposed to podcast last week, but things just came up and we were just so busy, and I forget exactly what happened, but we ended up, before I knew it, the week was over. So here I am today, a little late, but yeah, I wanted to talk about what's going on the farm first. Then we are going to talk about an update to our show schedule, so more about that later. And then I think we'll go into spinning, FOs, whips, all that fun stuff, and then the upcoming shop updates and new yarns that we're going to be releasing and all of that fun stuff. So just so you know, you can hop around and whatever if you're not interested in the farm life, but why wouldn't you be? Because that's the best part. But then you can just skip until I start showing whips and stuff. But anyway, so it is officially, like, we are into March. Tomorrow is actually Queen Bee's birthday, so her birthday is March 12th. And we were going to be celebrating it out, but I think we're just gonna stay home now. Yeah, the weather has been really nice. We have been getting a little bit of rain, but mostly the days have been in the like 40s or the 50s. It's just been really, really nice. I've been really enjoying the sunny days. Today it's a bit cloudy, so the light's really diffused, which I feel like is almost making it brighter in here. I don't know. I don't understand the science of lighting and photography, but I kind of like the cloudier days. I don't really like direct sunlight too much. I mean, it's like exciting and stuff, but sometimes it gives me a headache. But like today, it's just beautiful. I feel like I might be like squinting a little bit because it's so bright in here. But, and Peach is just staring at me from, I'm not talking to you, you goofball. But, oh, for those of you that are new, Peach is my little dog. She's a Havanese, and she's my best friend. And sometimes she's my co-host on Caught in the Wool. But now I think she's just napping. Maybe she'll join us later. But we have an exciting farm update for the past couple of weeks. Oh, that's one of the reasons we were so busy. Our first lamb we ever had born on Bumblebee Acres farm, on our old farm, but like our first lamb is Pepper. She's like 9 or 10 now, I think. I can't find like the exact date of her birth, but she is a little, because we moved and all of our stuff is records and stuff is everywhere, but I'm pretty sure she's 9 or 10, and she is a little black and kind of silvery Shetland ewe. She is SamBee's first bottle raised lamb. So her mother was a Shetland ewe. We got her name was Ginger. She was like a chocolatey and then faded out to like a soft brown color for her fleece. She was very beautiful. And she passed away a while ago. But her mother, who we purchased as a bred ewe, and she was our first sheep. She's very skittish and very like classic Shetland, very primitive. She didn't want to be around us, but she had Pepper and she wanted nothing to do with Pepper. So SamBee raised her, which is an endeavor. Let me tell you, bottle raising is, oh my goodness. If you don't have a place to keep them and go out and visit them like every, I don't know, sometimes you have to feed them every 3 hours or something crazy like that. I don't know, don't quote me on that. It's been a while since we've had lambs, so I don't remember the exact like time frame when they're newborns, but it's easier almost to just bring them inside. So that's what we would do. And SamBee had her in a little dog crate when she wasn't with us. But almost all the time, she was just hopping around following Sen, and we put like a little baby diaper on her, and she had to get her diaper changed and all that fun stuff. But yeah, Pepper sees Sen as her actual mother. Like, they have that bond. So Pepper, a couple weeks ago, she was not doing so good. It was very sudden. She was having seizures. She wasn't able to stand up or even sit up. She was like on her side and seizing like regularly, and we had no idea what was wrong with her. We had to take her to the vet, and they did blood tests. And some vets don't know much about sheep. Around here we have a really good livestock vet, but she is not super familiar with sheep. So she didn't know what was going on, so she gave us antibiotics and a vitamin B shot, and we didn't think she was gonna make it. We thought that the next day, like if she hadn't started to improve, like we would have to have her put down. And it was kind of like, you know, nothing was really developing right away. So we were kind of worried, but she wasn't getting worse. So Sen went and got a bottle and started giving her water through the bottle, which is really good that she was bottle raised, because she let Sen give her water. And that's really important. Like if you can't get them to eat anything or drink, then they deteriorate a lot faster. So it actually was very helpful that she had such a good relationship with her bottle, and she was very like, you know, letting Sarah do that. But then we did, Sen kept giving her those shots, the vitamin B shots, the antibiotics. She wasn't eating grain or hay or anything. So Sen brought out those Danish butter cookies that come in tins like around Christmas time. Gave her some of those. She was feeding her slices of oat nut bread, and sometimes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She would eat some of that, but she wasn't eating a ton. And then she started moving her legs. She started standing up, and well, not standing up, but like trying to stand up. And like a few days ago I went out and she was just standing up in the little, we didn't even have her in a pen, we just had her walking around the big red barn. Well, she wasn't walking, so we just had a bedding set up for her and a couple of hay bales. She was just standing there and eating out of the hay bales, and we were like, oh, okay, that's great. So now it seems like she made it out of the woods, which if you are not familiar with livestock or living on a farm, once an animal goes down, it is very, very extremely hard, and a lot of times very unlikely that they make it back up again. Almost 9 times out of 10 or even more, you lose them just because, I don't even know, it's just how they are. They don't show how sick they are until they're down, and then it's too late. They don't really show signs of sickness before it's too late. So we are very happy about that. She's now in with our younger Shetland ewes that we got at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool last fall. But yeah, that was like, we're very happy. It looks like she's gonna live another few years, which we are happy about. Shetland sheep, I don't know how long they live for. I tried to research it when she got sick because I was like, I feel like she's kind of still young, but all I could find is that they can have babies up until they're 12 or 14. Now, we're not going to have Pepper have babies at this age, but because they're such a hardy breed, I guess they can do that, so that's exciting. So I think that she still has at least a couple years left in her. And yeah, other than that, if the weather keeps up, we're probably going to shear our goats soon. We have Pygora goats, if you weren't already familiar. So they are a cross between pygmy goats and Angora mohair goats. And so their fleece is actually come in different grades, and ours are pretty much like a type A, type B fleece. I think that's sometimes I get them confused. A or C, I'm pretty sure it's C, is more like mohair, and A is more like cashmere actually, and the in-between is like very soft mohair / cashmere. So most of ours are A and B type fleeces, which is very nice. I cannot wear mohair. I'm very allergic to it, so it's nice to have like an alternative. And I love the goats. They have such character, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, other than that, not much else going on the farm. You know, just business as usual other than that. So I want to talk to you guys about this coronavirus thing. Gonna put down my coffee, and it keeps getting cold. Actually, I'm not gonna put it on the windowsill because I feel like that's what's making it so cold. I'm gonna put it over here. Sorry, I'm fumbling and stuff, but I have to set up the coaster and everything. You know how life goes when you want to be a responsible adult and not get rings on your woodwork. But yeah, so our show schedule, because if you are familiar with our business, we do travel around and we do different events and bring our yarn, and that is a big portion of our business. Farming and selling our yarn, that is our full-time business for our entire family. So yeah, shows, we are very reliant on those for a good portion of our income every year. And YarnCon, which is located in Chicago, so it's more of a local show for us. It's only about like an hour and a half away from us or something like that. Since we moved, I think it's an hour and a half. It used to only be like an hour. But yes, that was a huge part of our springtime income. And it got canceled because of the coronavirus, which I am actually glad that they canceled it. If they hadn't canceled it, we may have not gone anyway. Just because, you know, as this has been developing, like at first it didn't seem like it was such a dangerous thing, but now that they are learning more about the disease and such, it doesn't look like you really want to get this. So, and I am a type 1 diabetic, and Queen Bee has hypothyroidism, and SamBee has just always had the worst immune system, like, ever. We are kind of like higher risk, and we don't want to get sick. So it's kind of good that they closed it. But also not so good because us and all the vendors that go really rely on that show. We all rely on every show we attend. Going to shows is a lot of work. It's a lot of money you put out front to make it happen. A lot of people I've heard of because somebody created like a Instagram group for all of us vendors to talk in and discuss options after it got closed. A lot of people have ordered in their yarn that they are going to be dyeing. We did that as well. So they have, you know, a lot of overhead, and now they don't have a place to sell it. So it looks like YarnCon is actually going to be hosting some sort of virtual YarnCon. So it will be like an online thing. I do not know the details of that yet, but I will share it with you guys on Instagram, the newsletter, Facebook, when I find out more. But as of right now, we are planning on doing some updates with our show colors, because we also know that a lot of people really look forward to YarnCon. I mean, on a like attendees, you know, point of view, like I know that I look forward to attending YarnCon and seeing what people bring and all of that fun stuff. So it really sucks that they had to close it. I mean, this whole thing really sucks. But yeah, so there were a lot of people who were asking about certain colors, Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli colors that we were releasing and bringing to YarnCon. Those will be released online, not in this update. New Harry Potter colors, those will be released online. They might be in this update for this Friday. It depends on if I get the photos done. Actually, it might not be this update just because I didn't get the photos done. But yeah, hopefully by next week I will have those up. And right now we have all of our Outlander colors, show colors, as well as non-show colors are all online and dyed to order. So if you are interested in Outlander, order it now, because I don't know how much longer we're going to keep Outlander in the shop, since we are talking about putting all of our current show stock online, and then having an option to custom order certain bases. If you want to contact us, we will custom order or custom dye whatever color on certain bases, whatever I'm trying to say. But yeah, and then April 1st is when we are going to be releasing our first wave of advents. So get on our newsletters so you can find out all the details ahead of everyone. I don't tell people, other than the newsletter people for that first batch, the details of that. So definitely get on our newsletter. The link to our sign-up forms will be in the description below. But yeah, hopefully other shows will not be canceled. We are going to be doing the Stevenson County, which is in Illinois, Cedarville, Illinois, fiber festival. So it is a super small fiber festival. We used to do it a few years back, and then it coincided with Greencastle, and recently we just had a friend tell us that she wouldn't be able to make it this year, and she asked us if we could attend and hold her booth space for her so she wouldn't lose it for the following years. So we told her we would fill in. We won't be doing Greencastle this year just because our schedule was so busy, but the Cedarville, we were able to fill in with our friend, fill in for our friend because it is so close for us. It is very local, and it's only a one-day show, so it's not like all the travel and everything that goes into going to Indiana. Indiana's kind of far for us now, but kind of sucks because we were hoping that people who typically want to see us at Indiana would come to YarnCon, and now there is no YarnCon. But you know, it is what it is. So hopefully the Alpaca Fest at the end of April, that is in Madison, Wisconsin this year. It used to be in West Bend, Wisconsin. Now it is in Madison. Hopefully that's still on, and hopefully Maryland Sheep and Wool and Shepherd's Harvest don't get canceled. I mean, they have to do whatever they have to do for people's safety, but let's just hope that this gets sorted out soon, because it's really affecting everyone very badly. I don't want to get into like the downside of it, because we all know we don't want to talk about that. But yeah, so let's just focus on yarn and happy stuff. Let's just do that. So whips, spinning, FOs. You know what? I think I'm gonna talk about Queen Bee's spinning first, just because, so I can get that out of the way, because it's kind of like all over the place. So Queen Bee brought out her wheel recently and her basket of fiber. So she has all of these lovely bats in here. She had 4 bats, and now it looks like she has 3. Looks like she spun, yeah, she spun one of them entirely, and one she had taken apart. But she's been spinning these on her Mach 3, Mach 2, Mach 3, I'll put it in the description, in the show notes. But she's got these beautiful singles on here. I don't know if this is picking it up quite. Okay, there we go. Isn't this lovely? So this is all Tarhi wool, I believe. She got these bats as a birthday gift from SamBee a few years ago. So SamBee just made her a bunch of beautiful bats to spin. And she finally got a chance to take out her wheel, and she's going to make one big thing of yarn. And she's asking me, do you think I can make a sweater out of this? Because what am I going to do with all this purple yarn? And I'm like, I think yeah. But before she did that, she actually, look at these are super cute. She actually spun up on her Queen Bee Spinolution wheel, which is her favorite, actually. All of these. So these were each individual bats that I had made for her a couple years ago for her birthday, a different birthday. They're all about 1 ounce each of fiber, and they are Cormo from our sheep and Angora from our bunnies, and some sparkle in there as well. So I carded these up for her, and she finally spun them. She had spun the singles for this yellow, and I think the blue. She had already spun the singles up of, and she had ball wound them so she could ply them on themselves. But she hadn't spun the other bats. So I'm super excited about what she's gonna do with these. Her plan is to do a shift cowl. I haven't counted the yardage yet, but it looks like it's kind of like a sport like a between fingering and sport, going back and forth with a lot of these. Some of them it looks almost like it's worsted in spots. But yeah, no, it's just, they're just so cute and fun, and I think a shift cowl would be super cute out of this. And I cannot wait to start spinning. I want to spin so badly. I haven't gotten a chance to. Partly because I've been working so much on certain designs, so, and also my sweater. I've been really working on my sweater, so what should I show you guys first? I'll show you the sweater. Sweaters are most exciting. I feel like that's like the epitome of knitting. Some people could disagree with me. I mean, I'm not like the official spokesperson of knitting or anything, but I don't know what the front and the back is right now. Okay, this is the front. Okay, so this is my Dreyma. Isn't it cute? I don't know how well the colors are showing up, but I finished the body on it. It needs to be blocked desperately. I'm hoping that it grows a little bit when I block it, because I feel like I've gained a little weight since I casted it on, and maybe this size is a little too small now. But hopefully I also lose weight, so we'll see. I do like baggier sweaters in general, so we shall see. And I talked about this in the last few episodes, but this is a 100% Coopworth single by Carol Wagner of Hidden Valley Fibers and Wool Mill. So they have like a small mill. She often has booths at sheep and wool festivals, and they are she usually has wooden racks with these big balls of different colored beautiful roving with her Coopworth, and a lot of times mohair. The mohair blends are always the most beautiful, but I cannot work with it, and that sucks. But yeah, so my Dreyma just needs sleeves, and I'm going to pick up and do a little bit more for this collar as well. I think I'm gonna do a folded brim, but I'm super happy with how this yarn worked up. The Coopworth is very sturdy. It's a nice sturdy wool, but it's still very soft. I used that instead of Icelandic, which is what this pattern calls for, is lotttts. So I saw this and I thought it would be a really good substitute. And it seems like it's great. Because lotttts, since it has the hairs still in it from the Icelandic sheep, because they're dual coat, so they have long guard hairs in their coat as well. So if it's not T-haired well enough, I have the same problem as mohair, where it feels like needles stabbing me. Coopworth does not have the dual coat, so this is very nice. I absolutely love it, and I just have been feeling like no motivation though to do the sleeves. So we'll see if I get the sleeves done. I also was really worried with this. I'll tell you guys, I only had 4 skeins. Yeah, 4 skeins of the silver. I used almost an entire skein to do the yoke. And luckily the body only took, wait, no, I think the body only took 2 skeins. Maybe I only had 3 skeins. Wait, now I'm forgetting stuff. Anyways, I was like a skein short of what I really wanted to be at. So that's why I kind of changed this color work a little bit. It's not quite the same as what it looks like in the original pattern. I kind of just switched up where the colors lay and the darkest color and stuff like that, because I had an extra skein of purple, but 1 less skein of silver. So I figured I will do the ribbing all in the purple, which I like purple, so that's fine. But yes, I do have 1 full ball left of silver. So I'm hoping that gets me to the color work on both sleeves and I don't have to do any weird other modifications. But yes, I'm very happy with it. And yeah, I will put that away for now. My other project I've been working on a ton. So I'll just show you guys what I've been working on, and then I'll show you what the other bees I've been working on. And I always pile things up, so I'm just tossing that away. I actually like podcasting in this chair. It's kind of easy to access everything, and also I like being able to sit back. Usually I'm sitting on the edge of my seat literally while I podcast, so this is actually super nice. I showed this last time too, but I have done a little more progress on it. This is going to be my DK Briochet shawl pattern. So if you look closely, you can see that it looks almost like brioche knitting. And I picked 3 colors that were kind of complementary, kind of contrasty, and so I'm crocheting it in a way to kind of make it fade a little bit, but not a ton. Fade in like a brioche way. I mean, you still want contrast between those colors because it's brioche. So yeah, I was really hooking away on this really quickly, really nicely up until about this point. And then I don't know what it is. I'm just not feeling the hooking so much. And I think my problem right now is because I was really enjoying the sweater because I was just knitting in the round. And when I knit in the round, I don't have to look at my knitting. I've gotten to the level where I can watch TV and knit and keep my gauge and everything's fine. I hardly ever have to look down. But I am not at that point with crochet in any way. I always have to look and see which loop I have to insert my hook in, because otherwise I feel like I'm just all over the place. So we will see. We will see how much longer it takes. I was hoping to have this done and published by Maryland Sheep and Wool, and since now there is no YarnCon, it looks like I have more free time. So yeah, I mean, even if we do an online kind of virtual YarnCon, or more shop updates than we had originally planned, because usually we do less shop updates and less yarn in the shop when there's show season, just because we don't have, we're not home to make the yarn. So even then you have more time because you're home to crochet and stuff. If you're at shows, that just takes up so much time and so much energy. So yes, this is coming along. After I finish actually this blue section, I think I am doing pink and green again. So I'm gonna have to do this the same as this section right here, which I think is actually my favorite. And then I'm gonna do the pink and the blue. And we will see. We will see if I can get my mojo back. Part of the reason why I have not been so into, normally it doesn't bother me if I have to look down while I'm knitting or crocheting. I love knitting and crocheting, so why would that bother me? But I've been watching some shows that are subtitled, so I need to look at the screen. So that's part of the reason why I got so far on my sweater so quickly and not so far on anything else. And my last whip I will show you for today, yeah, I don't have any FOs today, I guess, is this pair of socks I have been working on for literally years. This is not one of our colorways. This is actually the Eye of Sauron color from Black Cat Fibers. And it knits up super cute. And this was my first fingering weight sock I ever did. The pattern is actually bag end sock pattern by Lindsay of Sock Witchery Designs. We're actually doing a cal with her right now, so it's a sock along in our Ravelry group. I will link that below, and she has a discount on her patterns right now, and it's B, capital B, B-E-E, like Bumblebee, but just the B part, 20. And I will put that below in the description as well, to get 20% off her patterns. But I really loved how these worked up. Like, look at how the color pulled. So cool. And I like the girls at Black Cat Fibers, so this was the first full skein I ever bought from them. I have 7 minis from them that I am still trying to decide. So I finally cast it on my second sock. Okay, so the problem with this is it's been like 3 years, almost 4 years maybe, since I knit the first sock. I don't know. How many years has it been? It was our first year at doing Stitches Midwest. And I think we've done 3 years of Stitches Midwest. So I knit this literally during Stitches Midwest, our very first year. So it's going on the 4th year of... And my gauge has totally changed. I am a much tighter knitter now. I was very loosey-goosey in the past. But the problem is if you're doing variegated yarns like this, because this is a variegated, this is not self-striping. I actually, and we have some colors like this as well, I actually like to call this spiral striping, because if you follow those silvers or reds, they just spiral around. But they do it at a rate that looks like it is self-striping. So, I really like the width of all of these, but if I change my gauge at all, they will not pull like that anymore. So I'm trying to knit the same way I used to knit. And my spirals are just a little thinner, and I prefer them to be thinner than thicker if I had to mess it up in any way. But yeah, so I am trying to finally finish this pair of socks for the knit along. All the details for the knit along will be linked below to that thread with all of the details about everything and what have you. But yeah, I'm like, since we're hosting the knit along, like I'm not really like entering, so I figured I would just finish some of these socks that I have of Lindsay's designs. I love Lindsay's designs, but I feel like I'm kind of getting it okay. Oh, man, because if I'm an idiot, I'm having an issue. So you can kind of see the spirals. They're not super bad. I was knitting a lot tighter in the beginning, so we will see. We will see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I should just go up a needle size. But then I have to find my needles. Well, okay, if it doesn't go well, I'll just rip it back and change my needle size. There you go. Problem solved. And I definitely need more coffee, so we're gonna have a little bit of a coffee break and stare out the window. Yeah, my coffee is cold and I'm not a fan. Not a fan of it right now. Normally I don't like to drink my coffee when it's piping hot. But it's just, it's too cold right now. But oh, let me toss that. So the other bees, actually, man, I asked Queen Bee to grab me her whips and she didn't, so I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I will show you. Oh, I do have an FO. Well, it's not mine. Actually, I have 2 FOs that aren't mine. But I will show you guys this real quick. So this has not been blocked, but this is a gathering shawl out of our Poly Juice Potion and our Magical Me colorways. So Poly Juice Potion is the sections that are this blue and purple and gray kind of speckly kind of section, and then the gold and the tealy blue and pops of pink and purple are Magical Me. So those will be online soon. This is a show sample that one of our sample knitters, Lynn, who is Tigger Loves to Knit on Instagram and Ravelry, she knit this for us, and yeah, she got it done super fast, so I'm going to have her do more soon. I have to send her more yarn. But this is a gathering shawl, so it is my pattern. It's the 2-color version, and it's knit in our Coquette sock base because it's just my favorite for knitting big needle, looser gauge shawls, because it really puffs up almost like a sport or a DK when you knit it on bigger needles. When you knit it on like sock needles, it stays to gauge as well, but it's just the way it's spun, it really fills out its stitches, and so you get the look almost of a sport or a DK weight project, but it is a lot more lightweight, and yeah, you get a lot more yardage for your, bang for your buck, basically. It's kind of like the cheater yarn, but I am also wearing the 2-color gathering shawl pattern, but it is, this one was knit by Queen Bee. I just threw this on because I needed something like cozy. It's kind of chilly today, and since I'm sitting by these windows, and these windows are drafty, it's like the front of our house has amazing windows. Like, they put in really high-end windows. But this side of the house, they did not. And they are just super drafty and cold. So I figured I would throw this on. It is ginormous. I showed it in the other episode, 2 episodes ago with Baby Bee. Queen Bee she didn't follow the pattern exactly. She striped in just colors as she felt like doing it, basically, because she had scraps and such. And yeah, it's super beautiful, very neutral, very nice. I'm really digging it, and yeah, it's a nice warm toned shawl for today. I felt like I needed something to bring a little warmth to everything because it's kind of cool outside, like just with those gray clouds and everything, I don't know. So let's get into Queen Bee's whips, and guess what she's working on? Another gathering shawl. It's her favorite pattern. I don't know, she likes it because she says that you can do so many things with it. So thanks, Queen Bee. And Queen Bee is my mother, for those of you that are new here. So I'm SamBee, then she's Queen Bee. SamBee is the second oldest. So I'm the oldest, then SamBee, also known as Sarah. Then there's Haeliana, Baby Bee. And then there is Joey, who is the youngest at 17 years old. And we also call him Bro Bee. But this... Let's talk about this for a second. So this is another gathering shawl. She is following the pattern exactly for this one. She is changing up the color between this, which is, what is it? Peach Fuzz, I think. It's a tonal. So those little, they look almost white here, but they're not. They're like a peachy color. And then our Spectre Specs color is this pink and purple variegated. And she's holding a strand of this poppy, hot pink and coral pink variegated alpaca silk, brushed alpaca silk. So, as I mentioned before, I cannot wear mohair, which is a total bummer considering that I cannot knit all of these super cool patterns that people are coming out with and all of these designs that I wish I could come out with. But we recently got in this base and it is divine. It is incredible. It is soft. We have not noticed it shedding. Like a lot of times brushed mohair sheds, which is another reason I have like a problem with it because it doesn't stay contained. It gets everywhere. It hasn't been really shedding at all. And it is just, oh, it is just divine. I am in love with it. I keep telling her, I hope that you're making that for me considering that I cannot wear any mohair ever. But I don't know if she's making it for me. But we are going to be adding this base, this alpaca silk. We have not come up with a name for it yet, to our online shop. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this. And we will probably be doing kits for this shawl because, oh my god, it's just divine. But basically, yeah, she's just changing up the color. She decided, well, we all kind of talked about it because she couldn't decide if she wanted to do two really contrasting colors or two complementary colors for those main ones, which are our coquette sock base, I should say as well. We were all kind of discussing what base she should use and what color she should use, and we decided, you know, let's just keep it very subtle and complementary for this one. And I think that it's incredible. Like, it's just like, this is the mood that I want always. This is what I want in life right now. But yeah, we decided to go with the coquette sock. I was kind of wondering if she should do our bubble sock, which is a merino silk blend. It would have given it even more drape, but we decided we wanted something with a lot more structure for this. Because alpaca and silk both don't have really any memory at all. So this will hold its shape amazingly with that coquette held with it. Oh my god. I just want a whole sweater. Just like, I just want to live in this. Just right now. This is all I want. Out of life, out of everything. But yes, so that is that. And her other project she's been working on is, and I've shown this one before, that was a new cast on that she did just very recently. This is her Hermione, Ginny, and not yet Hagrid, but Hagrid will be in it eventually. Mountains of Minis shawl wrap. Sorry. We've been here a while now. So I'm starting to lose my mind, but this grows a ton once it's blocked. It's lace and garter, so it really opens up. But this is a pattern that I made for our very first Advent knit along. And so you can just stripe in scraps and minis as you want to, and you know, you don't have to be very particular. For this one, and I'm going to have to write an updated version to the pattern, you use 3 different colors and then you do a fade between them. So yeah, this is very exciting. This is Hermione on this end, and this is Ginny over here. And Ginny is another one that we're going to be releasing. It's kind of hard to show with this lace, but she has brown and then variegated with white, and on top of the white is speckled pinks, mauves, and oranges. It's kind of hard to see here, but yeah, and Hermione's beautiful. And then here's the Hagrid. I love Hagrid. As a color, as a character, he's my favorite character. Oh no, him and Professor McGonagall together, they are my favorite characters in Harry Potter. Speaking of Harry Potter, I have some colors to show you that are going to be in this update. Not the show colors yet, but new colors. First, I want to show you the very last project. This one is an FO. Baby Bee just got this off the needles. So this is her, and that's the back, so I'll show you this side. This is her Bubble Hearts cowl. And this is done out of our Brown Sheep kit and our Bumble worsted base. So this is a non-superwash, 100% Tarhi yarn. And just look at those hearts. I love this one. Oh my goodness, I love this one so much. She really cranked this out. Like, she got it done in only a couple days. It is just so cute. I really like the naturals. I didn't really think about doing naturals until I saw Carrie. She did some out of her own sheep wool. Carrie of My Wool Mitten. She has a podcast and she's on Ravelry, and I'll link her below. But we have been watching her podcast a ton. I love her podcast. It is, it has such a nice vibe. I really like rustic and natural things. Like, I know I also love that pig shell. Like, there's like two sides of Sam. There is vibrant, crazy, colorful Sam, and then there is neutral, forest nymph Sam that just wants to live in the woods and never come out. So there are two sides of me, and she really appeals to that neutral side. Her whole vibe, and she has just such a lovely demeanor. So I definitely recommend checking her out. She was also nice enough, kind enough to join our Bubble Hearts knit along, which is still going on in Ravelry. It's going on until April 1st. And I might do it even a little longer because some people have bought kits and they still haven't gotten their yarns yet just because of our turnaround time. So I might end up extending it. We'll see. But she's done 2, and I think she said that she's casting on, or she already cast on her 3rd cowl. So she's just so kind and wonderful, and I definitely recommend her podcast. And yeah, that's the reason why I put together 2 like neutral kits in the shop. Another podcast I've been watching recently, we watch a lot of podcasts, and we just kind of like flit around between them. But this week I was watching and catching up on Bad Wolf Girl, Sits and Knits, and that is Meg. And we met her at Maryland Sheep and Wool our very first year. She came to our tent, and she's just super cute. She is always doing her makeup in the most beautiful way. And she designs, and she also has hand-dyed yarn, and she comes up with the coolest charts. So a lot of her patterns lately have been Harry Potter inspired. So she does color work sweaters, and I think she has a cowl coming out for all the houses. She has a Hogwarts history sweater and a Hermione Granger sweater, and I am test knitting, going to be casting on as soon as I finish the sleeves on my Dreyma, because I have to free up my needles and my project bags and my brain. I'm going to be casting on the test for her Gryffindor Pride sweater. I'm so excited. It is so cool. It is so exciting. So Meg, I don't know if she ever watches this, but she inspired us to do tonals for Harry Potter. So let me show you that right now, some of those. So, you know, okay, yeah, this is my yarn bucket, okay? This is a bucket that we got from Tractor Supply Company. We have like 10 of them, okay? They're all in different colors, and they're nice, flexible This is behind the scenes Caught in the Wool and Bumblebee Acres Farm information. They're nice flexible like rubber feed buckets from Tractor Supply, and this is what we use to move yarn around through its different stages. But also what I use to put my yarn in for talking about yarn. Okay, see, yarn. Okay. Oh, I just want to put this in a spot where I can see it, and I don't want to bump the camera. So, well, I have some information for our new update. Okay, I'm gonna stick on topic. So these beautiful yarns are gonna just sit behind me for a minute because those are coming in this week's update. And then we have these beauties. Okay, so I do not know if the camera is going to capture these right, but these are 2 different colors, and I've been having a hard time showing that. So this one is slightly brighter than this one. Yeah, the lighting is really blowing them out. So these are our 2 Ravenclaw colors. Let's see if I get out the... Oh my goodness! Where is everything? Okay. Sorry. Some of these colors are kind of similar, so I have to like carefully look at them. Okay, I think these are the 2. Yep, these are the 2 Harry Potter ones. So, sorry. This is vintage Ravenclaw. So we have this, and it's looking a lot more mustardy here. It's actually like this really warm brown. Yeah, it's just looking very mustardy right now. And this blue is not as overexposed as it looks like in the camera. It is a lot more deep and less saturated, but it is... Anyways, I'm not going to show any more of these. But we also have Quidditch Ravenclaw. So the idea between all of these is that depending on what colors you like for your house projects, is you can go as muted or as vibrant as you want. So we have for Gryffindor, we have vintage Gryffindor, and so this looks a lot more like, and again the lighting is just weird today, you know, like the movie version of their ties and their scarves and everything. And then we have Quidditch Gryffindor, which is, let me show you, a lot like the colors of my cup. And again, the colors are just not turning up right here, but you get kind of the idea. So we have that for Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and also the silvers for Slytherin, oh, and Hufflepuff. The silvers for Slytherin can be used for Ravenclaw if you prefer the more movie version, because they don't make it bronze and blue like they do in, like, as it's said in the book to do for those colors. They made it blue and silver for the movies for whatever reason. I mean, the blue and silver looks really good together. So we have lots of options. I've been just having an issue with those blues getting them photographed though, because like in this camera, like cameras are having a hard time picking up blue, I am noticing. So hopefully I can get those edited so they look a lot more like the actual yarns, and people can make some of Meg's designs, because I am so excited about that. Her patterns are just so awesome. So what I think I'm going to do, since I'm doing a fingering weight version of her pattern because she's doing it in fingering and DK. And I believe the charts are a little different for both. So I'm testing her fingering weight Gryffindor pattern, and mine, I am doing our croquette sock because, like I said, it fills out its stitches amazingly for the main color, which I think I'm going to do vintage Gryffindor red. And then I'm going to do the vintage gold in our shimmer sock, which is actually spun a lot like coquette sock. So it fills out its stitches a lot like the same way, but it has this like glittered looking sparkle to it. So I think that's going to be super cool to do all the color work in that. I am so excited to cast on. I just need them to dye my yarn for me. I have to finish my sleeves and then they'll dye my yarn for me. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. And then let me show you some of our other new yarns coming to the shop. Some of them are not brand new colors. Some of them are returning colors. But one of our returning colors are... Okay. You guys, I'm losing my mind. Maybe I don't like sitting here because I am losing everything. Let me put these down here. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Everything is madness. We gotta get the bucket again. Apparently I lost things in the bucket. Oh no, I lost a color, you guys. Where did it go? I had it and now it's not here. Oh, it fell. Oh my god. I'm back. Okay, so these two are returning. So these are Clutch of Eggs and Robin's Nest. And they are... There's a hair on one of these. Okay, whatever. These are some very beautiful speckles and subtle variegateds. We are also going to have our peach blossom, cherry blossom. I think some new blossoms are also coming to the update. And I think I might also release Jam on Toast and Strawberry Jumble and Blackberry Crumble as well. Those are all really beautiful, more neutrally speckles. They're not like our vibrant variegateds. They're like a very different type of colorway. But they make really, really amazing sweaters and just subtle neutral spring. So like I said, I really like the rustic and the bright. So there's two different sides. I feel like Queen Bee and SamBee are the same. So these are a little bit more along the lines of neutral and earthy, and they're looking a lot more vibrant in the camera. They're a little more pastel in real life, but they're very lovely. And we will see what the camera does with these today. We have our Rainbow Peeps are coming back. So Rainbow Peeps are one of my favorite collections we ever have because they are so bright and so colorful and so pretty. And then with that like little black speckling they have on them, it is just so cool. So these are rainbow pastel spectrums, and then each of them has one of those colors that are in their rainbow as more of the majority of the skein. So we have pink and purple, and they all have a little black speckle overlay. Some of the speckles might be hiding because of how they were twisted and what have you. And then we have blue and green. So blue and green Rainbow Peeps are brand new this year. So we've always had the yellow, the pink, and the purple. But these ones we just came out with, and I think they complete the collection perfectly. It's definitely like that Easter grass kind of vibe for that green one. And this one is definitely like, oh my gosh, almost like a sky blue. I don't know. It's so soft and lovely. The color on it, I mean the yarn is too, but let's talk about the color. And then the classic yellow peeps, which is just the cutest one in my opinion, is the yellow peeps. But and my hair is doing crazy things. I'm super excited to have more of a rainbow spectrum in the collection, because now imagine the fades you could do with this. Oh my god. And they would fade so well because they all have the colors in them. Like they're 100% complementing colors. So I am super duper excited about this. I do not have enough time in my life, but I just made a post today about how I need a cardigan out of these. Like I need a faded cardigan out of this, or yeah, I guess you would want to fade because you'd want color blocks, or maybe just do a color block cardigan. I don't know. You could take any pattern that you'd like and just stripe your colors however you feel like. I wouldn't do narrow stripes because of just, you would want those rainbows to stand out. And even if they pooled, I think it would be so cute. I just love them so much. And I think that Easter colors really just make me feel some kind of way about the spring is here and it's coming. And oh, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that spring is coming and it's going to get warmer. And we planted some bulbs last fall, so hopefully we're going to start seeing some pretty flowers popping up. I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited about these. It just puts you in such a good mood. I don't know. And then lastly, I wanted to show you this new yarn base. So I also made a post about this on Instagram a little while ago. We're going to have 2 new yarn bases coming to the shop then. So the alpaca, brushed alpaca silk. We have not named it yet. And then this is marshmallow worsted. So this will be our first superwash worsted that we carry in the shop. We've had DK and Aran weights before, but we weren't feeling the merino worsted. Like we weren't feeling it. You know what I mean? We weren't vibing with it. It's very soft. Usually merino worsteds, and 100% merino bases. But I'm always leery of them because merino is a very fine fleece and it's also a very short staple length that it can pill. Depending on how you have it spun, it can not pill and it can hold up pretty well. And if you're not using a super fine fleece, I mean, not all sheep are created equal. Some of them are softer and some of them are coarser. But I don't know, it just wasn't the feel that we wanted. Like we always choose bases that we are excited to work with. And sometimes they're just not the bases that other dyers use. Everybody has their preference. But we have carried my go-to worsted in the past has been to either use our Sasquatch Aran, which is a 100% BFL superwash, because I really love the texture of it, or to use Coquette Sock held double, or Shimmer Sock held double if you want the sparkle, because they have such a good memory and they hold up really well and they don't really pill. BFL is super soft, but it's a longer staple, so it holds its shape better. It doesn't bust out of its spin and pill on you if it's spun right. Recently we added Bumble worsted to all of our shop, and that is a 100% non-superwash tarhi. So non-superwash does not take its color the same way as superwash does. I don't know the exact science behind it all, but it just doesn't. It usually does a little bit more of a faded look, and it doesn't keep speckles or color definition. Like if you're doing a variegated between two colors, very sharp, it kind of melts it a little bit more. So some of our colorways cannot be dyed on Bumble because it just doesn't look anything like the colorway. But it is divine and it holds up amazingly. And it's very soft. And usually, like, that's the thing with worsted, is that we wanted to carry something that's, you know, durable, because most of the time when you're doing something in worsted, you need it to hold up, right? Like, you don't want it falling apart on you. So we recently got in this sample skein. So this was the first skein we ordered. It is a 5-ply. So that means that if you're not a spinner, that means that if you look at this yarn, there are 5 tiny strands making up one thick strand. And this is a 100% superwash Rambouillet. So Rambouillet is a French merino breed. So it's merino that the French took and kind of bred it to their specifications. And did I say that right? I don't know. It's been a while. We've been here for a while. So they actually created a merino that has a little bit more of a longer staple length. And this yarn has a very sheepy, springy, squashy feel to it, which makes me think that it is going to keep its memory so well in any sweater. It is going to just be incredible. It is also very soft, and Rambouillet is known for being very, very soft. So having those 5 plies keeps its softness in each of those little strands, but altogether it's a lot stronger. So I was worried it might be a little ropey. Usually the more plies you have, the rounder your strand of yarn is and the more ropey it can feel. This feels so squashy and wonderful. I cannot wait to cast something on with this. We have not dyed it yet, so we don't know exactly how it's going to take color yet, but I cannot wait to see. But that will be in the update. I'm going to be adding it to all of our options in the online shop. And oh my goodness. Like, just imagine this in the Peeps colorways. Like, I am dying. I would love to make something. Oh my goodness, it would be so lovely. I am definitely a huge fan. Back to like the rustic thing, I am a huge, massively huge fan of very sheepy feeling wool, and this feels like sheep. Sometimes merino, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love merino and I love it for certain projects especially, but sometimes it is so fine that it almost feels synthetic. But this feels like wool. Like, it feels like squashy, delightful. Okay, am I done yet? Am I done, like, molesting that skein of yarn? I don't know. But, yeah, I need to put it down because I am going crazy for it. But yeah, so that is going to be in the online shop update. Definitely get on the newsletter because, like I said, we're going to be doing different stuff. Now that shows have been canceled, well, a show has been canceled and possibly other shows. We're still nailing down the details on all of that, so get on the newsletter. But those yarns will be in the shop this Friday, so I'll probably have this up Thursday. It's Wednesday right now. So Thursday this will probably air, and I will have, yeah, all of that in the shop for you guys on Friday. So, yeah, okay, that's it. I don't think I have anything else to share with you guys. If I did, oh well, post it on Instagram or something at some point. Thank you so much for, oh gosh, people are standing outside the window looking at me right now, so it's a good time to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for getting caught in the wool. Sorry Peach didn't join us. She has been burying her face in the couch this whole time, hoping that I would stop podcasting and snuggle her already, so it's a good time to wrap it up. Thank you for getting caught in the wool with me. I hope you guys get caught in the wool even more. I hope you guys check out our knit-alongs on Ravelry. There are prizes. Check us out on Instagram, and please give this video a thumbs up and follow us if you aren't already. It is it's great. Could you also leave a comment? I don't know. Oh my god, I am brain dead now. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes. Leave a comment, like, thumbs up, follow, all of that fun stuff. And you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.